We've got over 350 years of combined manufacturing experience that manufactures our top-of-the-line shoulder pads that hit the Division I and NFL market yearly. We're American made. Our custom shoulder pad line is made here in Houston, Texas, USA. We've got Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, J.J. Watt, Sean Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, Russell Wilson, Baker Mayfield, and a number of other NFL players that have chosen to wear Douglas. We've got over 19 Heisman Trophy winners in the last 33 years, which makes us one of the top shoulder pads at that level. We've got a number of Super Bowl MVPs, a number of Division I colleges, a number of FCS colleges, a number of smaller colleges. We're one of the lightest weight pads on the market. The comfort level is there. They love how low profile our shoulder pads are, not restrictive. But the biggest thing these days is weight and mobility, and they feel like they've got the lightest pad available to them, but with the most protection. Douglas stands by an air management system. When you take a hit on the shoulder, the last thing you want to do is feel it in your shoulder. You want it to spread throughout the whole shoulder pad. So that's what's key to our air management system, is dispersed from the front of the shoulder pad all the way to the back. It's not in one specific location. If you don't have that key component to a shoulder pad, then the body is what is absorbing all that energy. And eventually your body will break down, which will lead to injuries. As you can see through the process of building these pads, our manufacturing employees always work in unity from one department to the next. Everything that comes down our manufacturing line touches multiple hands until it's finished. You've got the ironing process and the heat seal process, where you're seeing at least 6 to 10 hands touching a single product before it hits the sewing line. Once it hits the sewing line, you're seeing another 6 to 7 sets of hands that are touching it, and that's just the cushion aspect of it. You shift over to the plastic assembly line, and there's another 5 to 10 hands that are going to touch it, and then it meets the quality control area. We have 2 sisters that have been with us for over 20 years. They look over every pad that comes down the line. If there's just a little bit wrong with it, they'll send it back, but typically we don't have those issues. We've got a number of employees that have been here for over 20 years. We've got a few employees that have actually been here for over 30 years. It definitely sets us apart. Their knowledge of our product, how it's made, their hands-on approach. They're part of the family. They feel like they're part of the family. They want to make sure they make the best product available. And there's a lot of pride that goes into making the pad. The Douglas family pretty much began in 1987, where they began conversions, where they'd actually build new cushions for existing shoulder pads. And eventually they moved on to producing their own football shoulder pad. So it evolved from going from doing conversions for a few years to building their own pads from scratch, from a 600 square foot leased building to now they own 35,000 square foot warehouse that is 100% owned by Douglas. We still have ownership that sits in the building daily that oversees the process, and I think the attention to detail that goes into every pad made here is definitely what sets us apart. And it's really paid off here in the last 5 to 6 years. You're seeing more and more Douglas pads on the NFL field. We dominate the college level as far as shoulder pad protection, and we're the #1 pad used in the NFL as of 2018. We have a number of players that love our pads that won't change out of our pads. They've worn our pads for many years. Our attention to detail and our design of our shoulder pads is what keeps players in them.